Case, you got your jersey on. Let's get to your New Jersey Devils, my friend. What a series with the New York Rangers. The Battle of the Hudson, it was great. The Devils go down 2-0. They win 2 straight on the road, then go up 3-2. They lose the game in Game 6, and then, frankly, a dominant performance in Game 7. I heard Elliot Friedman describe the Rangers as lifeless in that game. And I would have to agree because I watched the whole thing. We were all texting each other in our group chat. What a performance by Akira Schmid and the New Jersey Devils to wrap this thing up in 7. They now move on and face the Carolina Hurricanes. How did you feel after the finish to that one last night?
Yeah, I probably woke the whole neighborhood. I'm freaking yelling so loud at not even just goals, but like that play at the beginning of the game where the Devils went down on a power play very fast, or a penalty kill very fast, and then Nico Hischier just kind of trucked it up the boards, came in with a power move and drew a penalty and got a good chance. I was like yelling at that. I was so excited, so into the game, probably Steve Dangle-esque. And then just like the way they played that game the whole time, that first goal, Andre Palat, that's why you brought him in. That is exactly what you brought that guy in for. It's the drive and he's an absolute bulldog in the playoffs, kind of missing in the first 3 games, but that Game 7, he was unbelievably strong on the boards, on the half wall. He picked up that puck, put the team on his back, got it to Michael McLeod, who had 4 goals all year, and he pulls out that move, that patience in Game 7. Unbelievable. John Marino, he's been the best defensive defenseman in that series, and he walks through the team, sets up Tatar on the second goal. Jack Hughes, saucer pass, Eric Haula, who has been the man for me in the playoffs. I hope he's back because he's been phenomenal. I liked him all season. I love him in the playoffs. He puts the one-timer home, and then Brader sealed the game up. It felt so good. And like you said, that team, the Rangers, looked lifeless. I mean, they didn't put up a fight. Like, don't take it away from the Devils. The Devils played an unbelievable game, but the Rangers were just not there at all. And their superstars continued to be ghosts in this series, especially Panarin, who was just absent all series. Game 1, obviously, he was there, but man, that was poor display. I'm very happy. You know, you heard Rangers in 4 so much after they won the first 2 games in Newark. It was Rangers in 4, and then the Devils won 1. It was Rangers in 5, and then, well, here we are today. I'm so happy to beat that team. Kind of I want to say the theme, at least for a few teams in the first round, is playing with house money. And Jack Hughes said exactly that. He said, if you told us at the beginning of the season that the New Jersey Devils would be playing Game 7 at home in the Stanley Cup playoffs, we'd be thrilled. And really, we're going into this with an attitude of, let's compete and have fun. We're playing with house money right now. We're not expected to win this. And you got to think the same thing of the Florida Panthers and the Seattle Kraken, playing with house money, the attitude of let's just go out and put the best performance we can up. And I'm really, it sounds stupid, like I have nothing to do with this team, but I'm proud of all the Devils and what they did. Akira Schmid was unbelievable. So in particular, proud of him. There's been 3 shutouts in the playoffs, and he has 2 of them. So I'm thrilled. I got to say that the pressure going on to this next series is minimal. I wanted them to beat the Rangers, our hated rivals, the Hudson River rivalry. I wanted them to win 1 series, and then I'm like, everything else after is bonus, because I didn't think this team was winning the cup this year. So everything else is bonus. And honestly, I think we're going to get a good matchup against Carolina. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yep.
2 very fast teams, probably the 2 fastest teams in the playoffs, maybe Seattle, you could argue. But it's going to be exciting to watch, and we'll get into that later.
So happy for you, Case. The better team won here, honestly. Like, they were better, like you said, at 5-on-5 all series, despite getting outscored 11-3 or 11-8 rather at 5-on-5. Like, they dominated the play. I think when I was looking earlier, it was about 57% expected goals percentage. So just carrying the play at 5-on-5, maybe a couple unlucky bounces, and then being able to defend that incredible power play on the Rangers, like, so impressive.
Yeah, it was like, I don't even know what they went on, like 0 for 14 on the last power plays or something like that. But it started to scare me in the third period. I was like, I don't really like how they're playing this. They're playing the trap and they're sitting back and waiting for the Rangers to come. But man, they couldn't sustain any pressure in the other zone, in the Devil's zone, the Rangers. It was just in, out, in, out, in, out. Big chance Devil score. It was just amazing to watch. And I think, yeah, you talk about like controlling the 5-on-5 play, the slot shots, they kept showing that on ESPN over and over again, was 11-1. Like, yeah. I think the one was Lafreniere, and that was maybe his only good chance in the series. He had 0 goals, 0 assists, even plus minus, just absolutely ghosting as well. That, I don't know,
I've seen people calling him today 007, 0 points, 0 assists, 7 games played. So I've seen memes of him like, you know, with a gun like this, 007. But
I'll tell you, the rivalry's back, and there's 4 guys I really grew a dislike for in this series. I don't know even if I want to get into this, but like Shesterkin is one of them. I respect the hell out of him because he's a great goalie and he was one of the only Rangers to show up in this series. But man, I dislike when goalies think, I'm untouchable, I'll do whatever I want. My team's going to stand up for me. So he's punching guys in the back of the head. He shot the puck at Meyer. Meyer took that big hit. I'm going to give Shesterkin the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was checking in on him, but immediately skates to Meyer, who he's been going at it with all series, and says something to him while he's lying like lifeless on the ground, and then skates away. It's like, I think he was talking shit if I had to put my best guess out there, and I don't like that either. So he's one of them. Trocheck, pretty easy why I don't like him, just the way he plays. Same as Barclay Goodrow and Lafreniere. That guy, if he went into the crease one more time, like, I was waiting for Kevin Ball to drop him. I needed it. And I won't even mention Trouba. I didn't grow a dislike for him because I just despised him before the series. So, but it's good. Yeah. The rivalry's back, you know?
And that's absolutely awesome. Couple things I wanted to say, Case. First of all, you mentioned Shesterkin, and how crazy is it that the Devils, quote unquote, got goalied, you know, and still won? Igor Shesterkin was the best goaltender in the first round by a country mile in terms of all of the stats, both surface level and underlying, and he still lost. That's crazy to me. Second thing I wanted to mention is, could you guys believe that hit that Trouba threw on Meyer? Like, to me, I know by the rule book that's not a suspendable play because he didn't leave his feet and Meyer put himself in a vulnerable position. And if he hadn't, Trouba would have hit him in the chest. But man, like, we're talking about that as a clean hit that is that the NHL is allowing. But to me, I saw shoulder directly to head from a guy who skated, you know, 3-4 full strong strides and just absolutely demolished a guy. To me, as an outsider, I was shocked there was no penalty even for roughing or something like that, roughing or charging or something. And then the fact that he's not even going to have a hearing or have to answer to this, he's going to keep doing it. So when I saw that hit, I know by the rule book it's considered legal, but I think that is just crazy, and maybe the NHL should look into removing those kinds of hits going forward, because that could be brain damage. Like, that's one of their best players, and he, you know, luckily he was able to get up and continue playing. But if he misses the next round, like, I mean, he kind of missed this round, but I mean, if he misses the next round and he was important, then, you know, that's a big deal. So I was shocked no one jumped him. But yeah, go ahead, Case.
Was not shocked that no one jumped him. Please don't jump him with 5 minutes or whatever it was left in Game 7 when you have a lead. True. I understand. Jump him next year. Trouba was suspended for the remainder of the playoffs. There it is. There it is.
Get right.
I had you for a second there.
You did.
No,
I was like, wait, did I miss something?
But I'm gonna take the Bednar opinion on this, and I'm not even gonna try anymore to figure it out. Like, it's just, you can't keep it straight. What the league wants. I know that by the rules, it's not a suspension and maybe not even a penalty, but like,
so change
maybe
the
rules should be changed then, because that was pretty dangerous. It seems as though Meier is okay. He came back by the end of the game. His nose is probably broken, but Lindy Ruff is expecting good news from medical here and today, actually. So I think he's going to be okay. He is one of the Devils' best players, but he also had 0 points that series. So I'm hoping Trouba knocked some anger into him or something. I don't know, but they had an embrace at the end of the handshake, and it looked like they're cool. But I would expect, someone going after Trouba next year.
Oh, yeah, I could see that for sure. And I'm not going to say anything more because I think you guys said it all about, how well the Devils played and pulling this out. But I wanted to talk about the goaltender, Schmid, and what a great story he's been. He's a young kid, a big kid, and I thought he played extremely well. He looked calm and composed, really, really good with the glove hand in particular. I just thought he looked so smooth and calm in a really big game at home for this young team. And, they've got speed to burn, and I agree that that's going to be a really fun series to watch in round 2 with them and the Hurricanes, 2 very fast teams that have speed to burn. And just thrilled for the Devils, and it's going to be fascinating to see what kind of changes happen with the New York Rangers. And I think that the first one we're going to see is a coaching change, given how their star players performed in this series.
Well, I got to say hats off to Lindy Ruff. This will be about the Rangers in a second, but I got to say hats off to Lindy Ruff because of the changes he made in this series. He came in, he took Miles Wood out after 2 games of bad penalties. He took Sharon Govich out. He sat Siegenthaler even once. I don't know about that one, but he was making changes and swapped the lines around, and it worked out for him every single time. Even bringing Miles Wood and Sharon Govich back in to the series for Game 7, that team was notably faster in Game 7 than the games previous, and the Rangers couldn't handle it. And that was from Brian bringing in Miles Wood and Sharon Govich. Those guys add a lot of speed. And, putting Schmid in, that's a Lindy Ruff decision.
Massive.
Keeping Ball out there when, the hockey world is calling for Luke Hughes. Ball was great in the last 3 games. Curtis Lazar scores, and then he takes him out. And like I said, again, Sharon Govich and Miles Wood came in. A lot of great changes. Nothing happened with the Rangers. No changes at all. They swapped a couple lines around, and then it was like, okay, we swap. Like he switched up the kid line, who I thought at the beginning of the series was the only one clicking. It didn't work, and then he put them back together, and it started working again. And it's like the one change he made was a poor one. So nothing happened. It didn't seem like the team had any fire lit under them, except for maybe Game 6. So I don't know. I kind of agree with you, Harp.
Mm-hmm.